I swear it feels like I'm the only person on the planet that likes the ending of You. I just finished watching season 5, so here's my thoughts on the best and worst parts of the season. Full spoilers ahead. I think this season, for the most part, was a great return to form for the show. Getting Joe back in New York with Mooney's bookshop was great. And I know it's horrible to say this, but seeing Joe Goldberg get back to his ways, killing Buffalo Bob to quote unquote protect his family, was actually satisfying to see. The show obviously takes a very big swing with the new character of Bronte, because at first it seems like, oh yeah, she's just some girl broke into Mooney's bookshop. Joe Goldberg's falling for her despite being with Kate, who has like all the money and power in the world to protect him. We know Joe Goldberg has to sabotage everything that's actually going good for him, and he starts going after Bronte. Before we get the crazy reveal that no, she was actually a friend of Guinevere Beck from season 1, and she's been working this entire time to bring down Joe Goldberg, and I think that was actually a pretty great reveal. I think actually having Bronte kind of like lose herself and slowly fall for Joe Goldberg was a good element that kind of made the character a little bit more interesting, and like the moment where he kills Clayton because they baited him into it, they caught it on live stream, actually was like the best part of the season. As well, Joe Goldberg has had so much proof and evidence against him before. This was the one time when he was on live stream, you're like, yeah, there's no way he's making it out of the season and not being found guilty. I thought Kate's family being like the main supporting characters in the season were actually pretty strong. Like Maddie and Reagan, the twins, everything with them was crazy, from Joe kidnapping the wrong one, making one of them kill the other one. Peak just you insanity was happening with these two. Let's talk about those last couple episodes, because I think for the most part they were great. Some things kind of make no sense though. Finally, everybody started and realized who Joe Goldberg really is. He actually did do all these murders. Obviously, then you see him and Kate are left to die in the basement of Mooney's. The whole place is on fire, but then Bronte comes in and saves Joe for some reason. Joe's like, oh my god, this is my dream girl. She saved me from this. She's gonna accept me for who I am. We're gonna go off and get new identities, and everything's gonna be great. Obviously, that's not the plan though. Bronte still wants revenge for Beck. Once Joe finds out about that, he just turns into Ray Lewis, starts hunting Bronte down. He's full on tackling her, drowns her in the water. She is presumably dead. Then somehow she actually didn't die in this moment, I guess. 2 minutes later, she comes back and just points the gun at Joe in the woods. He's surrounded by police, literally gets his dick shot off. And then he's taken in, found guilty of all his crimes, and is presumably in prison for the rest of his life. And I know people are mad about this ending, but I'm sorry. I feel like it's the only way you could have ended it. Like, you don't want Joe Goldberg to get away. The show is literally telling you at the end, like, yeah, you are the problem, is the final line of the show, and it's showing the fan mail he's getting of all the girls that are like still attracted to him. Like, the show is literally telling you, like, yeah, don't admire and be attracted to these serial killers and sick people, probably talking about like true crime and stuff too, and people are completely missing the point, being like, oh, it's a stupid ending, Joe Goldberg should have got away and had a happy ever after ending. Obviously, him being the protagonist of the show, even though you know he's in the wrong, obviously you're going to root for him in certain situations, be like, oh, you want him to get out of this, but I don't think you can really be mad about the ending of him ending up in prison, because the only other alternative is if they just killed him off at the end, and I don't think that would have been a satisfying ending for people either. But like I said, I have some problems with the ending. As I mentioned, Bronte not dying when she was being literally drowned kind of makes no sense, but I guess you could be like, oh, maybe Joe didn't leave her under there long enough, he panicked because of the police sirens. What really made no sense is Kate surviving being left in a burning basement and coming out with like the lightest scars you've ever seen in your life. Like, I understand, again, they're going for the point of like, oh, Joe Goldberg, now he can't hurt anybody, the victims are finally free, but I feel like Kate definitely would have died in that situation. I think the season was a very solid overall. The second half was definitely better than the first half. I give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.